Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to start and grow their business. You can use code MollyBurke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. One of my favorite things about living in Los Angeles has always been that it is a city of artists and creatives who absolutely follow their dreams, who, I feel like whenever you grow up as a creative with artistic ambitions, people are like, that's not a real job. What are you gonna do for a real job? But this is a city of people who are like, screw it, art is a real job and I'm gonna make it happen no matter what. And I think that is just so cool. I'm just obsessed with that. And I really love finding ways to support local artists. And one of my favorite things, like I always say to my boyfriend, my dream, ideal, perfect date day is just on a Sunday, grabbing a coffee and walking around the Melrose Trading Post. I know that a lot of people like the Rose Bowl. That to me is like a bit too big, okay? It's just too overwhelming. But Melrose Trading Post is this perfect level of curated, and there's a little bit of everything. There's vintage collectors, there's people making homemade clothing, there's photographers with their work on display, there's jewelry, there's pottery, like there's truly everything. There's live music, there's food trucks. I just love it. It is such the right energy. It's like, I want to say $6 submission if you pay cash, $8 if you pay online. So it's really cheap. And half the time I go, I don't even get anything. Like I'm just going to look at different vendors and I follow them on Instagram and I don't know, you just get the best gift ideas. It's so fun. So all that to say, I have collected 9 different small businesses. None of this is new to me except what I currently have on. All of this is stuff that I've collected over many years, but these are 9 of my favorite small businesses. I'm going to link all of their Instagrams or Etsy shops or like wherever you can get their stuff in the description box down below. There is a whole variety of different kinds of businesses here, and I really hope that you find something that you love. All of these vendors are so worth supporting. Many of these people, I have met them in person, and I can say like they're just salt of the earth gems. I've done videos like this in the past where I did one on blind-owned small businesses and then disability-owned small businesses. This is just run-of-the-mill small businesses, and I have so many more than this. Also, please leave in the comment section any small businesses that you own that we should check out. Like, give yourself a little promo in the comment section, or just like any small businesses that you love and want to shout out and think deserve the recognition. Let us know in the comment section. And the only other caveat I will give is, yes, a lot of these things are expensive. That's because these are small businesses, and the overhead of running a small business and doing everything by hand yourself is massive. When you don't have a supply chain, when you don't get to like order in bulk and get the cheapest prices. That's why I've collected these things over many years. And some of these vendors, like at Melrose Trading Post, for example, they're there every single time, and I've loved them from afar for years and like always put it in the back of my mind, and then finally I get it someday. So yes, small businesses tend to be more expensive, but you're supporting your local community and helping these people pay, in LA's case, astronomical rent. Okay, so the first business I'm going to feature is a perfect example of everything I just said. Colored by Joey. I have met Joey many times over the years, and always, every single time I pop to his stall and I'm like, one day there's gonna be the perfect piece for me. And I recently was just like, I'm just gonna DM him. Like, he knows who I am. We chat every time we see each other. So I was like, I'm gonna shoot him a DM and just like see what he's got in stock. So I DM'd him, and he went out of his way. He like came over to my house. He's like, let me show you what I got. So he brought a bunch of stuff over, and he paints, as Colored by Joey would say. Joey like hand paints a bunch of stuff, and like this, he's from New York originally. So it's like this very New York street style graffiti vibes, very fun, very colorful, which is so my vibe. And all of the stuff is one of a kind. It is all like either vintage or thrifted items that he upcycles. So it's really sustainably made. Just so cool. He does like pants, jackets, accessories. He even does furniture. My God, like the amount that I want one of his chairs in my home one day. So cool. Anyways, I got this crew neck sweater, which used to be white, and it's now a whole bunch of colors. There's like some neon green, teal, blue, purple, I don't know what else. There's some black, some white. There's like lettering down the sleeve. And then on the front, there's this smiley face alien guy with 3 eyes. such a vibe. I feel like it's like the third eye, you know? Very fun. So I love this piece so much. And then the other piece I got from him is so, so, so special. It's really cool. I really want to take it to a cobbler. This was an old vintage leather bag, and he just did the damn thing. Like, this is so cool. There's a shoulder strap as well. It has side pockets, and I want to take it to a cobbler because these are like real buckles, which is just like kind of a pain to get in and out of. So I want to get them to put like secret little snap buttons on. But yeah, I think this is amazing. And you guys know me, I'm so colorful. So I feel like this will look really cool with a lot of different outfits. And it fits my laptop perfectly. The side pocket is perfect for sunglasses. Like, it's just such a great bag to bring to a coffee shop on a work day or bring as a carry-on when I'm flying. This is so cool. I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of this. I already know it. Okay, this next t-shirt I've had for a couple of years, and I get asked about it all the time. People are obsessed with it. I'm a big fan of non-merch merch, so like small businesses that make merch, which I know is like kind of a gray area. I know there's like licensing issues and some of it's a little under the table. But I think it's so cool when artists like make their own fan art of celebrities. So this is a Taylor Swift t-shirt. It is by a brand called Paper 8, and he is this guy. Again, I've also met him in person, but you can get his stuff. He's often at Melrose Trading Post, but not always. And then he has his own storefront here in California, in Los Angeles. And then he also has a website. So Paper 8, I feel like is such a great spot to get stuff if you know somebody who's a big fan of a certain TV show, movie, or celebrity. He has Legally Blonde, Schitt's Creek, Friends, like all of these iconic things, all these different celebrities, Harry Styles, just everybody you can think of, TV show, movie, pop culture, music, he's done something. So this is the Taylor Swift one. He draws all of these by hand. It's just a really soft, nice quality white t-shirt. And then on it, he basically took one of her Instagram posts, drew it onto a sticky note, and then transferred the image of the sticky note drawing onto the t-shirt with the caption that she had. What does her caption say? Not a lot going on at the moment. There you have it. He also doesn't just have t-shirts. He has tote bags and I think a couple of other things as well. Very good quality, really cool stuff. Like I said, definitely great gift material right there. Speaking of gifts, I recently gave this one as a gift to my boyfriend. This is J&M Film Resins. This is so unique. This is so interesting. This is like a perfect example of people just doing something so creative and different that I love so much. As their name would suggest, it is resin that they have put basically like film strips from real movies into the resin. This is such a great gift for somebody so my boyfriend works in the film industry. Obviously, he's a big movie buff. He's also a really passionate photographer. So this is just like all the things that suit him, and he's a total space nerd. So I picked this one for him because I feel like it just combines all of the things he loves: movies, photography, and outer space, because this movie was Mission to Mirror. Mm-hmm. Have you ever even seen that movie?
No, we have to watch it.
Okay, well, yeah, now we definitely have to watch it. And I don't know if you can see it very well on camera, but
here, let me try to...
we'll get some B-roll maybe and we can insert it. It's so cool. It's just such an interesting piece of decor, especially like to put in your office or for us in our studio where my boyfriend like edits a bunch of stuff and we have the photo backdrops for photo shoots. It's just the perfect piece of decor for that office. The next one I have is this hat, which you guys have probably seen me wear so many times over the years. I think I've had this for 3 or 4 years now. And this creator has expanded their shop. I found them on Instagram and they've expanded their shop since then. They just at the time did hats. They're called Hot Pot Variety. They only did crocheted hats, but now they have like a couple of different SKUs. This one is a pastel pink one. It's kind of like a bucket hat style, and every time I wear this crochet hat, A, people ask me if I crocheted it myself. Absolutely not. I ain't that talented. And B, people ask me where I got it. So people are definitely big fans of this hat in real life. It is such nice quality, and it's something I feel like I'm gonna have this forever. It's just so cute. Before I go to the next small business that I want to shout out, I also want to shout out the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. I feel like there is no better sponsor than Squarespace for today's video because These are all small businesses that harness the power of the internet to sell their products. Yes, some of these are available at like physical local craft sales places, but for the most part, I'm sure their businesses thrive with the online market. And in today's economy, there is no reason why you, anybody, the average person, can't start their own business and build a website to help their business thrive. It is easier than ever, especially with Squarespace's new AI tools. They have Blueprint AI and Design Intelligence, which both harness the power of AI to help make a unique, bespoke website for your brand or business. As I said, easier than ever. Like, it basically takes all of the guesswork out of things for you. It helps design it from the ground up for you, combining 2 decades of industry-leading expertise with AI to help you create something, honestly, that you would pay a lot of money to like a private designer to do for you, and it just does it for you. And then once you've used Blueprint AI to build the website, Design Intelligence to design the website, you can use dozens of built-in visual effects to make your website even more interesting, unique, and engaging. They have all of these different presets. I feel like as somebody who is obviously not a visual person myself, it's nice having a tool like this that has preset options that I know are really good quality and they're going to look good on my website. These visual design tools are a great option for any website, and if you are getting ready to launch your website, you can use code MollyBurke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. Now, on to the next brand. Okay, stop right now. She is so cute. I adore beaded bags. Love, 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 love. I've always loved beaded bags. There's this other brand, Susan Alexandra, I think it's called, from New York that I'm obsessed with and have coveted for years. And then I want to say like a year and a half ago, maybe, I met this woman in Miami. She had a beaded bag. She was a fashion girly. We struck up conversation at this restaurant. And she was just the sweetest, coolest girl boss lady. And she like owns this business. She was like, oh, you like my bag? They're my bags. Like, I design these and get them made. Her family is originally from Ghana, and she has all of these handmade in Ghana. The name of the brand is Avera. There's so many different styles. This is personally my favorite, this like bright yellow top handle bag. She's always releasing new ones. It supports the community where her family is from in Ghana, which I think is so awesome. And like, this is so unique. I just love it. The little top handle, the bright yellow vibe. It's so cute. I have a few others just to show some different styles from her. I have this little clutch in this corally orange color. They're truly so well made. Little snap button. Oh my God. Isn't that so cool? And then the last one, I have some like stuffing in it to keep its shape when I have it stored. But this one is like a clear bag with this little top handle. So definitely like, and she has so many more colors and styles. This is just the ones that I have. And I can again just attest that the owner of this company is such a sweet lady. Highly, highly recommend checking this brand out. Okay, this next one I can't physically hold up because it's like stuck to our wall. We use like 3M tape to stick it when we hung it, so she ain't going anywhere, but I'm just gonna pop B-roll. You might have seen this if you watched my What I Got for Christmas video this year. This is one that I've wanted for so many years, but just never pulled the trigger, and my boyfriend got it for me for Christmas. It is a book clock. Again, such a great gift idea. He makes every book imaginable into clocks. So like if you're a Harry Potter fan, Lord of the Rings, if you have a kid that likes the like Goodnight Moon, like any from children's books to coffee table books, fashion books, history books, like he makes it into a clock. Such a fun piece of decor. You can either get them where they hang, or he has stands that he sells with them as well if you want it to be like a standing clock on something like your bedside table or a desk. And I've always wanted the Winnie the Pooh one, which is like a dark green cover with gold foil and gold watch, like clock hands. And it's cool because he cuts out the center of the book. So if you open the clock, you can actually still like flip through all of the pages, just the center of them where the clock is like cut out, which is really interesting and fun. So very cool, and absolutely love that really special, unique piece of wall art. Speaking of unique home decor, this is another gift that I got my boyfriend for his 31st birthday. Again, he's a big photography guy, and I just thought this would be such a cool piece of decor in his office studio space. It's a vintage Kodak brownie, as if I know anything about this. My mom was so excited when she saw this, though, because if you don't know, I grew up with a professional photographer as a mom. So she literally quit photography when it went digital because she was like, this isn't photography. Um, she loved like true film photography. So she saw this and she was like, oh my God, the brownie. Like immediately she knew. Yeah, so this is from an Etsy shop. I originally got inspired to want to get one for him from a seller at the Melrose Trading Post. But I could, like, she was only there every so often, and she made a lot of vintage things into lamps, not always just cameras. So I couldn't find a camera at the time that I wanted to purchase it for his birthday. So I went on Etsy and found an Etsy seller who does very similar thing, like takes vintage items, upcycles them into cool pieces of home decor. So yeah, we have just like a Edison bulb on top. We'll get some B-roll of it lit up so you can actually see what it looks like. The next piece I want to share is an artist that my family actually became friends with. Her name is Rochelle Moon. She's incredibly talented. She's based out of Vancouver, and she makes very multi-textural wall art in all different colors and sizes. So my parents got my boyfriend and I two of her pieces for our apartment here for Christmas in the small size, a white one and a yellow one that we have hanging up. So I'll also get B-roll because we also use 3M tape, so we can't take them down. That way when I go to touch them, they don't like slide around the wall. But we got white and yellow and they're hanging in our hallway. And then for my 31st birthday, my parents and my manager each got me one of her medium-sized pieces, and they're hanging on the wall in my bedroom in the condo that I own in BC where my parents currently live, but obviously you guys know I go and stay there all the time. So yeah, they got them to hang there and I love them so much. A lot of wall art, like I can't experience. It's just flat imagery. So it's fun having pieces like that I do get to enjoy just as much as anybody else. Okay, the last one, we're back to clothing that I found at the Melrose Trading Post. Oh my God. I have been coveting one of this man's pieces for a very long time, but I am very petite and a lot of his pieces are more oversized. So even though I love oversized, it has to be the right level of oversized. Otherwise, I just disappear into it. I get swallowed whole. And finally, back in December, when I took my family, when they were here for Christmas, he had this outfit. My boyfriend actually spotted it. And I thought about it the whole time we walked around and I had to go back. His pieces are so impressive, which makes sense because his company's called Impressive. Again, like everything else, it'll be linked down below. And if the fashion girlies are here, you already know that the Ralph Lauren bear is all the rage. He's been popping off for like the last year. All the girlies want him. But it's so expensive, number one. And also like when anything becomes popular, it just gets oversaturated and then I feel like it's just not interesting or cool or unique anymore. But this is so cool. So he basically takes vintage blankets, bedspreads, duvet covers, sheets, and turns it into clothing, jackets and pants in particular. So this is a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren blanket into a cropped, fluffy, oversized jacket. And that's why this one kind of worked for me because it was like the blanket material made it a bit thinner than a lot of his other jackets and it's cropped, which most of them aren't. You can see like the original stitching all around the collar and stuff from the blanket. Oh my God, it's so fun. And then the embroidered Polo Ralph Lauren bear right there. And on the inside, he has his tag on one side, and then he has the Polo Ralph Lauren tag from the original blanket on the other side. I'm gonna try this on so you guys can see it because I'm not gonna do it justice holding it up. But with that, there was his cargo pants, which I needed pretty heavily tailored, but it was very worth it. It's such a cool, fun outfit and a unique way to play into the Polo Ralph Lauren bear trend, which even if these weren't the polo bear, I would love them because I just love like anything with an animal and I'm in. Cartoon animals have my heart. That's why I'm like such a massive Winnie the Pooh fan. And also like Paddington Bear, like any cartoon animal I'm in. But it's even more fun that it's like the polar bear. So these are cargo pants, like very big, oversized cargo pants with the vintage bears, all different ones, all over the legs of the pant, front and back. And he basically like took them off of like old sheets and stitched them into the pants. So talented. Oh, around the time the Barbie movie came out, he had the most amazing Barbie jacket from vintage Barbie sheets. I just hit my own hat. I got too excited. It was so good. Anyways, I've got a lot more small businesses that I love, so if you guys enjoy this, definitely let me know, and I will do a follow-up video to this. And as I said, if you own a small business that you want to shout out, now's your time. Go off, queen. Get down in those comment sections. Give yourself a shout out. And also, thank you again to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Code Molly Burke, 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. Until next time, you can watch this video to see me go car shopping for a second time, or this video to hear about the real reason I bought the Cartier Love bracelet.